Welcome to Buying Your First Home, presented to you by the professionals at San Diego Mortgage and Real Estate. This is probably going to be easier for you to view if you enlarge your screen. Typically that's done in the bottom right hand corner of your video viewer. What we're looking at now is an overview of the process, and typically people are going to want to start by getting pre-approved. To do so, you need to choose a lender. Once you've done that, then you can choose a realtor. After that, they're going to help you find your house. They'll take you through the necessary steps. Once you've found a house, they're going to help you negotiate how to make an offer. If that offer is accepted, at that point you open escrow. During escrow, you will do your due diligence, which includes all of your buyer's inspections. And after you're satisfied with the condition of the property and you got your loan in place, you're going to close escrow. Obviously, it's not going to be as simple as that, but we're going to take you through each one of these steps. First, with the pre-approval. When people are choosing a lender, they often don't know if they should choose a bank or if they should choose a mortgage broker. So let's talk a little bit about the different roles that each of those play. If you're choosing a bank, you're going to need to research the loans available, and each bank only offers their own products. So that's not that difficult to do if you know exactly which bank you want to use. But if you want to shop products and find out what the best options are for you, how many banks can you actually go to and apply for a loan through before you've gotten overwhelmed? That's the biggest challenge. Whereas if you go with the mortgage broker, they're going to guide you through the loan application. They're going to give you a little bit more hands-on as far as what information is going to be needed. They're going to help you gather the documents. Most of this is going to be filtering through all the documents required to get a loan. Today's market has mandated that every single thing a buyer says on their loan application has to be documented. In addition, they're going to evaluate the loan package once they've helped you put it together. They're going to look at things that might need to be removed or, in their opinion, things that will need to be added to help ensure your approval. Then they're going to be the ones to go out and they're going to research a variety of lenders. They do this every day. They have the point of contacts. Most mortgage brokers are working with a minimum of 10, but as many as 30 different lenders. They can take your loan package and shop it with each one of these to find you not only the best rate, but the best program that's going to fit your needs or maybe the needs of the individual property. Once they've found the lender they think is going to work best for you, they're going to submit your loan package. They're going to also watch the industry to see what's happening. They're going to see where rates are based on a variety of factors that can get pretty complicated. When they see rates that they think are going to benefit you and they don't think they're going to go down any further, they'll typically recommend when you should lock that rate. Rate locks can go from anywhere from 7 to 30 days out, occasionally longer, but talk to your professional about those details. Essentially, they're going to oversee the entire loan process from start to finish. They're going to hold your hand through the entire thing, and you're never going to feel like you're out there on your own trying to make this loan happen. Next, you're going to choose a realtor. In choosing a realtor, it's important to understand that not all real estate agents are actually realtors. If someone's a realtor, they're a member of the National Association of Realtors. And by doing that, by becoming a member of that, they subscribe to a very strict code of ethics. All of the realtors at San Diego Mortgage and Real Estate are realtors. Once you've chosen a realtor, they're going to help you go through the process of finding a house. Once you go through this, then you're ready to start shopping. The important thing is to understand what areas you want to be in. Now, typically, a realtor may be aware of other areas that you probably hadn't considered yet, but in San Diego, we have one of the highest price points in the country because we're in Southern California, and sometimes where you want to live isn't always going to be financially the best option for you. Your realtor can help you understand what your other options may be and if you should make that compromise. An important step in your home shopping process is to determine what your wants are versus your needs. And that's going to change for every person. And it's often different when a married couple buys, or any two people buy together. A lot of times those will be different for each. Typical wants will be stuff like a fireplace in the living room. Some people feel like natural light is something that's important to them. And another example is granite countertops. Now for some people these are absolute needs. Most people would consider these wants. On the other hand, when you're looking at your needs, sometimes you need 3 bedrooms, you have to have 2 bathrooms for the size of your family, or maybe you absolutely have to have a 2-car garage. Again, talk about this with your realtor and they can help you determine what your wants are versus your needs. Once you've found that house, then you're going to make the offer. Now, typically a realtor is going to go out and they're going to research comparable sales. That's sales that have taken place in the last 3 to 6 months that are comparable to the property you're going to be offering on. They're going to contact the other agent and find out if there are any other offers on the property. And they're going to talk to you about what your strategy is to get your offer accepted. And this is going to vary from trying to save money on the purchase price to sometimes trying to outbid other borrowers based on this being possibly your dream home or a really good deal or a variety of factors. But knowing what your strategy is going in is essential. If you get your offer accepted at that point, you're ready to open escrow. Now, a lot of people really don't understand what the escrow process is, so let's talk about that a little bit. Escrow is going to be a third-party agent, and they're going to be engaged to assure that the transaction will close properly and on time. And essentially, they can't advise any other parties, buyers or sellers, but let's talk about what they can do. The escrow holder will prepare the escrow instructions based off the offer that's submitted to them. They're going to request a title search, comply with all lender requirements that the loan officer has given them. They're going to receive your good faith deposit as well as all the funds needed to close at the end of escrow, that being your down payment. During the process, they're going to record any deeds and other documents that are required. They're also going to request a title insurance policy. In addition, there are countless other details that they tend to. Your realtor and your loan officer will be working hand in hand with your escrow officer to make sure that most of this happens behind the scenes and you're advised as needed. What they will not do, however, is give you any advice. They have to remain neutral. They can't take the side of a buyer or seller or give any advice that would be interpreted as doing so. They can also not give you any opinions about tax implications. On that note, you should not be taking tax advice from your realtor or loan officer either. You really need to seek professional advice if you have questions about taxes. Now let's talk about due diligence. This is when you're going to do all of your buyer's inspections as well as looking at the seller's disclosures. The seller's disclosures will be questionnaires filled out by the seller that's going to require them to disclose any known material fact about the property. You're also going to do all your inspections, which typically will only include a property inspection. There are limitless inspections that you can get at this point in this day and age. However, 90% of the time, one property inspection is all you'll need, but sometimes they'll advise that you seek further evaluation. You're also going to want to do your appraisal at this point. Your loan officer will order it, and they're going to make sure that the property is worth the money that you are paying for it. If it is not, they determine that it's worth less. This is a point for you to renegotiate with the seller or walk away and get your deposit back. The seller will typically have been required through your offer, you'll have negotiated this up front, to do a termite report. You'll get the results of that, and most lenders will require that the house is given a termite clearance, meaning that it is free from any termite damage. After you've done all of your inspections, you will negotiate for repairs. Typically, sellers will be willing to do anything that is considered major enough to keep a deal together, but they're often going to avoid doing little stuff like repairing moldings or more minor cosmetic issues. Throughout this entire due diligence period, your lender will be working to get your loan approval. Once you've received the loan approval and done your inspections, then you're going to be looking at removing contingencies. Contingencies are typically by default in the contract supposed to be removed on day 17. Part of that is that you've satisfied your loan contingency, meaning you have approval. The property has appraised for the amount of money, or you've renegotiated to the appraisal price. You're satisfied with all the seller's disclosures. You've reviewed any HOA documentation if necessary. You've done your inspections. And the title report has been ordered and is clear of any title issues. After you've done all your due diligence, you're going to be looking at closing escrow. The final steps in closing escrow are signing your loan documents, and then you're going to deposit the remainder of your down payment and closing costs. The lender at that point will fund the loan. The escrow officer will send the deed to the county recorder so that it can be recorded, and then you get the keys. Congratulations, you just bought your first house.